Hi friends, welcome back. In this video, we are going to look at a concept called exemption handling. In our last video, we saw that we were able to create a duplicate account when creating a customer account, and this is very bad because actually the flow of the program, there is an exemption that is not necessarily an error, but you will find that this can result in a series of many customers having same credentials, same account number, same username, same account holder name. So, and cleaning the database from that mess of having duplicate record is not an easy task. What I am talking about is basically this one. When we go to the postman correction, we send a request to the DB. Another account has been created. So I presume that the program should not proceed because an account number already exists, but the program is creating duplicate account. To avoid that, in Java, we can handle this using exemption handling. So in this case, I am going to show you how we can handle exemption. So what is an exemption? It is an event that disrupts the normal flow of a program. So when an exemption occurs in Java, Java generates an object representing the error, and the program throws this exemption. So the class that we are going to create in Java, we are going to create a custom exemption handler that extends runtime exemption. What is a runtime exemption? A runtime exemption is a subclass of exception that represents error that happened during the program execution. As the program is executing, those are the errors, not during the compile time. So that means that your program can compile successfully, but it has some anomalies. So we are going to use an annotation called an exemption handler that is used to define classes and methods for handling specific exemption. Other than that, we are also going to create we are going to handle our exemptions globally. Globally in the sense that instead of creating so many files to handle specific exemption, we can have one class that is global across all the controller and annotate it with @controller advice. Annotating an exemption class with @controller advice marks that class as a centralized exemption handling and enable you to define global exemption handling method that applies to all your controller. So in this case, we shall begin by creating an error response class. So new Java class, I will create an error response. So this error response will have three fields: private int response code, private string technical message, private string customer message. So I want to maintain camel keys. So I also want to add @setters and @getters. So this will help me reduce. Now my error response class is done. My charge going off. Assist me with the charger. So thank you. So now as response class is okay, I will go to my exception package and create two files, or rather two Java class. The first one will be custom exemption. Custom exception. This will extend runtime exemption. I have told you that runtime exemptions are those exemptions that happens at runtime. So in this class, I will inject my custom error response class. So private final error response. So I will do constructor injection. Inject that. Then I will go and create another class called global exception handling. So I have said this is for handling global exemption. For me to handle global exemption, I need to add annotation. This annotation is called controller advice. The significance of this is it marks this as global exemption handler, meaning that the method I will define here can be applied across all the controllers. So at exception handler, here I will put custom exemption dot class. I will create a method public response entity, and this response entity I will be of type error response, and I will call it handle custom exception. So exception ex. So inside this method I will just return new response entity. So I will say ex.get ex.get. So I don't know whether in my error response I have getters and setters. Error response. So this is not the correct error response class. So Spring has got an error response class. So let me rename my class to be I will refactor this. Rename. So I will call this API error response. I want to refactor so that it can apply across everywhere it has been used. So custom exemption handler, global exemption handler, want to use API error response. So it will be ex.get API error response. I have setters, I have getters, exception handling, API error response. So I'm getting it from the response class. So return new response entity ex.get error response .get API custom exception. This one should be custom exception. so that inside my custom exception I have a get error response. I also will put HTTP status, HTTP status dot value of ex dot get error response dot get response code. Now having this, I am good to go. Now I can go to my service class and begin handling exemption. So in this case, let us go to our service class, this account class. So basically what we will do, we will first of all begin by making a DB call to check whether if an account exists. So I will create a method inside my repository, and this method I will call it find. It will be optional. Optional is a keyword in Java introduced in Java 8 to handle nulls. So this is of type account. So I will say find by account number. So I want to find by account number. Here I will pass int account number. So basically what this method will do, it will go into the database, select account record where the account number is the account number provided. That is basically what this code will do. So I will come here and create this method. I will call this method inside my account service. So let me get back there. So I will define a variable option account. I will call this existing account. This will be equal to account repository dot find by account number. Where do I get my account number? It will be from my payload, the account number provided by on the payload, that one. Now I will now begin exemption handling or handling the null. This should be optional. Optional java.util. Now. So the first thing that I will do is to check if account number exists. So basically I will say if existing account dot is present, we'll go and check whether that account exists. If it exists, instead of creating a duplicate account, I will handle this exemption. So I will say throw new custom exception. So inside my custom exception, I will say new API error response. And this API error response take 3 parameters. The first one is response code. So I will put response code 409 is basically used for duplicate. Then the technical message account exists or duplicate account. Then customer friendly message, you can define this and say account number already exists. Account number already exists. Account number already exists. So I don't know why. Expected 0 argument but found 3. API response error. So I need to add all argument constructors and no args constructor. So this or argument constructor will fix that error. So that means that if account is present, don't create duplicate account. Return this error to the customer. Else, if account is not present, proceed and create that account. So if we try our code now, and we shall handle exemption. We shall do that for all our classes. So my Tomcat has is 13. So basically, I'll explain this method once more. So basically what is happening is that I am checking if account number exists before creating it into the database. Java provide a feature called optional for handling nulls. So it has a method called isPresent to check whether that object is present. And since if this object is present, don't create a duplicate. Just return an error to the customer. Just that, as simple as that. So let us go into the Postman and test this method. So go to your Postman and test this method. If I now try to create this account, basically I will have to initialization start completed. Now I will send this. So you can see that I cannot be able to create this. Account exists. Account number already exists. And this is a customer friendly error. So those people who will be consuming this API via the front end, they can check this response code and return the customer message to the client. So if I change maybe this to 1 or 3, that does not exist. It should create successfully. So it has created successfully. So that is how we handle custom exemption, and it is a good practice. It is a good practice to handle, to make sure that your program does not allow customer to make mistake.